Right then, good evening everyone. It's another Friday evening. It's time for some more Train Sim World, and before I forget, tonight's drink of choice is Fanta Lemon. Well, knock off Aldi Fanta Lemon, but what's the difference when it's a lot cheaper? That's lovely. So welcome to another Friday night. Welcome to another session on Train Sim World. And today obviously we're on Train Sim World, but we're going to be Pete, who's in the chat at the moment, so good evening to you, Pete. Hopefully you're doing well. Pete on my Discord server asked, and I will find the exact comment actually, well, the exact post. He asked that we do a sort of an all-stop scenario. So one moment while I'll just find that. He said, I said, any suggestions for the stream tonight? And Pete said, maybe some freight or a long passenger run, all stops. So indeed, that's what we are doing. So we're doing the scenario on the apologies for the incoming butchery of German words, but we're doing on the Nahverkehr, I'd pronounce it like that, Dresden route, and I think the first word translates as local stopper or like local transport, obviously in Dresden, around the Dresden area. So I thought we'd do this scenario. I like doing scenarios, they're a bit more involved than timetables. And obviously here you can see we're doing a peak time service with congested traffic, which makes it a little bit more interesting. Oh, and I should say this is Highbrook Emerald Railway Live number 37. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I get the number wrong like I did last week. So that's what we're doing. It involves driving the control car. I believe we start off in that first, and then later we switch over to the BR143, which is a slightly older electric locomotive actually, but because this is only going to take us an hour and 20, we may jump onto one of the other ones, or I may do a short freight run as Pete requested as well. So, I presume you can all hear me. OBS seems to say we've got Xbox and my voice, so that's good, you can see me, hopefully, if I've pressed the right button, which I think we have. So, well, we might as well just crack on, hasn't we? So, let's go. I've still not got used to the load times on the, as he taps the Series X. Still not got used to the load times. I'm normally sat here waiting for 5 minutes for things to load on the 1S, but not with the Series X. Let me just get my earphone in properly so I can hear things. Yeah. Good morning, you have been tasked with operating this S1 service to Meissen. The line past Meissen is currently blocked, which means that this service will be terminating at Coswig, I think that said. In fact, it's probably going to say it on the front of the train. Coswig, that's how I'm going to pronounce that. And the same message has popped up again, how helpful. Right, so let's we'll turn the desk lights on, and fine, we'll do the method this wants to take us through. Pete said he's all good sound and I can see you, thank you very much. Yes, they're on. Reduce brakes. Train lights, yes, we definitely want those on. I'll do the shortcut for opening the doors because using this and then this button over here is a bit of a pain. We want to turn some things on. I can remember how you turn them on. Yes, we've got the battery, headlights, CIFA, yes, we would like that on. And where's PZB and LZB? PZB, this train doesn't have LZB, does it? I don't think there's anything to look about within there. These LZB, it does have LZB. That's the wrong way round. Should that not be on and that be off? Anyway, LZB will turn on. I didn't think we had that on this train, but apparently we do. Oh, and there's the 143 that will be jumping into the cab of later, I think. Either we're jumping into the cab of it later, or it was classes that we're going to be using that, because that's the, I'm guessing that's the train on the end of here. Whether we actually turn around and have a go at driving this, I'm not sure. I think these are also on the more recent Frankfurt Fulda route, so yeah, I think we're limited to 120 in them, 110 kilometers an hour, something like that. But anyway, oh, let's lock the doors. Very satisfying door closing operation on this. That's the brakes coming off. I don't think they have AFB in this either, the cruise control. No, it would normally be where this black square is there. But AFB is basically like cruise control. You can basically set it to 80 kilometers an hour, and no matter the gradient, it will keep you at that, and it can also do braking as well. So, right, we don't need to mess with any of that, so I say let's go. And obviously, because we're driving from the control car end and the loco's shoving from the back, well, especially with German locos, they are prone to wheel slipping because they're electric and a lot of torque. Not TALK, TORQUE. If you jam too much power on, especially in the 143 at the back, it's got a habit of just wheel slipping, and then this force meter just goes all over the place. And apparently we can release PZB, so we'll release that. Not PZB. Yes, I've acknowledged it, thank you. Not PZB. It is PZB, yeah. LZB is the system that drives the train itself on... Oh, well, that's a great start. Is it because I went over 40? I reckon it's because... Yeah. And that's because I went over 45 kilometers an hour. I'm not going to go into the details of explaining PZB and LZB, but PZB is basically the German safety system, and LZB basically drives the train itself on high speed routes, because you can only go 160 kilometers an hour with you driving the train, but when the automatic system's driving the train, you can go up to 200 plus. So as you can see there, we're restricted because there was a yellow signal to 45, and I went slightly over 45, so... yeah. And now we have no power, that's great. Are we to just start again? Oh, we've got some oomph going. Right, so now we're going to be even later. You know what? Let's just start again, because I really don't want to be running the schedule. Excuse me. So that's gone well. Note to self, the German safety signalling system is harsh, but also it has to be because the trains go quite a bit faster than ours. So note to self, don't break the speed limit. We may as well get the doors open immediately. And I have not driven this particular loco, well, I've not driven the control car in a while, so we'll have to see how that goes. Evidently not very well. Let's get some braking on. And now I've reminded myself where all the switches are. We should be alright. That's on, that's on. I don't think this route has LZB, but on. O is passenger, that's fine. None of those mean anything of any importance. Oops, didn't want to do that. What do these do down here? Can we use any of them? No, doesn't look like it. Yes, it's forward. I think we're already going to be behind time here. Doors are open. Oh, it already wants me to lock the doors. So we're already behind time. Lovely. Let's get the brakes off. And let's go. When I was saying about wheel slipping as well, the loco at the back has a weird system for... oh, come on. The loco at the back has a weird system of how it applies power, which can also cause it to wheel slip as well. Anyway, already being quite late, let's go. And there's that one. Bit of lag there actually, I'm not sure why. Are we in a busy area? I guess it is quite busy. Right, so this tells us we can release. And then there'll be a yellow signal up here, so make sure not to exceed 45 or we get shot by the safety signalling system. That's flashing green, which means you can go, but slowly. So we have to acknowledge that and stay under 45. So let's do that. That'll be why I went over 45, because there's a downhill. So I did power off, but didn't appreciate that we were going downhill. And there's no point blasting it all the way up here. Can you open the window? Yeah, let's have the windows open. Quite foggy. I was rather hoping it'd be a nice sunset, but no, it's 8 o'clock in the morning and foggy. CIFA is the equivalent of the DSD, or Driver's Vigilance Device DVD. It basically just every 30 seconds you have to press a button. Every 30 seconds when you're moving, you have to press a button to say that you're still there and you've not like slumped and keeled over. And, thus can't drive the train. So if you don't press B to acknowledge that, and acknowledge the yellow signal there. If you don't acknowledge when you should do, not like AWS is the German safety signalling system. AWS blares at you until you press a button. PZB, if you have to know when to acknowledge it, and if you don't acknowledge it, it doesn't tell you when to, but if you don't acknowledge when you should do, it just slams the brakes on. But you'll see CIFA appear there, you'll see the exclamation mark in the bottom right, and also you'll hear the noise after a certain time delay, because it appears on there, and then it'll start beeping at you. So if I press it then, it'll just start beeping. And then if you don't do that, it slams the brakes on, which is lovely. I think you can recover from CIFA stops without having the brain slammed to a halt, but all the other ones, as you saw at the start of this, it just slams the brakes on. So. We're already behind schedule because I decided not to apply any power and get moving. Probably because I was scared of coming out 45, but let's see if we can't make a decent stop here. Nah, I brake too soon and too harshly. Although actually, we might be alright. Yeah, I should have not braked that soon. Crawling forward. Yeah, that was not a good stop. Well, I haven't driven this in a while, so I'll give myself that. So let's try and do it on here. So left and open. That's better. And then I presume if I set that to up there, then I can then close them a lot quicker. And we leave. So we have some time to make up, but not to worry. Well, the passengers really don't get long to board, do they? Right, close the doors. Brakes off, because obviously the door interlocks will keep the brakes on until the doors close. And let's put a little bit of beans on while the brakes come off. So yeah, there's been about 1200 metres between here and the last station, and now there's 900. So of course there's not any electric noise for us because the locals that do that. And that's a Vectron with a load of white cars just leaving. Oh, and another 143 there, look. Lovely. Oh, that's not a 143, that's a... It's slipped. Oh no, we're going to be speeding again. Oh no, it says 85 now. Max speed 85. Okay, that's fine. Because we've come out of monitoring, which is again something I'll explain later. It's a bit complicated. I wish it wasn't quite as foggy. I was rather hoping for it to be a bit more picturesque than this, but never mind. Yeah, so this is quite difficult for me, so not only am I managing the stream, I'm also driving with ridiculously hard safety systems on, and I'm speeding. I might not be able to make the stop here. Actually, might be alright. I've become aware that I'm not very centred in this camera. Yeah, we're not going to stop here in time. Stop! Oh no, I think we're alright actually. Not very smooth stop like, but and we're still late. Well, I'll take 2 meters, that's not too bad at all. I'm sure they wouldn't have been very happy with me feathering the brake as much as I did there, but we've stopped, so that's the main thing. Oh, and we've got a Talent 2 just leaving, or just coming in? Just coming in, I think. Nice driver those, but the horn on it sounds very tinny and electronic and not very nice at all. Doesn't help on these that the doors take so long to close. You're almost better closing the doors before it tells you to close the doors. And then when it tells you to close the doors, they'll already be shut. But, nah. This is driving for pleasure, not necessarily to be very strict. And I'm going to try and move the camera down slightly so that my head's in the middle. That looks better. Right, let's get the beans on. 1.6k. So how many stops have we got? Oh wow, we have actually got quite a lot of stops to do. Oh yeah, we are. We're going to be driving the other way. We're going to be returning. Yeah, returning back this way. Now that says we're limited to 45, but I don't think we are. Yeah, there's just wave to that driver. If you, I just stick my hand up like that. There's not actually often that much chance to drive the German locos by hand, because you just stick the AFB on, ram your throttle to full, and then it just gently gets you up to the speed limit itself. But yeah, and we're speeding again. Oh, for goodness sake. I have acknowledged it. Help. Right, okay. Let's not use the safety systems. It's too much to try and stream and do that all in one. I do like using the safety systems when I can concentrate on it, but with streaming and reading things and trying to manage everything, it's evidently too much. I can't stream and look over there and pay attention at the same time. So, yeah. So I shall sack that off and start for the second time again. Right, let me get the doors open. That there, yeah, that's fine. No, we're not having the safety systems on. Dear. Well, at least it's not. Well, we didn't have to restart. Well, we did have to restart last week. Actually, the brakes kept coming on, didn't they? If you remember that, all the brakes kept coming on, and to get a diesel in to help the train stop. That was fun. But right, we're locking the doors now. Right. Forget the safety systems. Let's just get moving. Did I turn the lights on to there? Don't really need them on actually, it's not that dark, I'll leave it. At least this way we're less, well, ignoring the safety systems of which we'd be sacked for, but at least we can get up to a bit of a higher speed and not worry about being restricted speed-wise with all the yellow signals and such. We can actually get up to some decent speed. Probably could have come in a little bit faster than what we are doing, but this is like almost like a well, looking at the frequency of all these stops there, it's almost like we're driving a subway system, but well, it's like we're driving London Overground there, with the amount of stops that are that close to each other. Right, first stop. Let's try and make it better than the last one. And we're on time as well, that's good. Right, get the doors open, and then when that little bar gets probably just over 3/4, I'll shut the doors, because it doesn't actually count the doors as being shut, not when you press the button, but when the doors outside actually shut. The danger you risk is if you shut the doors and the doors shut before it tells you to lock the doors, then the danger is it will ask you to open them again, and then that actually takes more time. So you've got to be a little bit careful about that. Ah, you can see there where that meter's bouncing around, that means we're wheel slipping slightly, so I'll just back off a little bit on the path. Although we are going downhill, so I'm surprised we are wheel slipping, but yeah, if that starts bouncing around, that just means we're wheel slipping, so just have to back off, wave to the driver. I think that's the 146.2. It's just suddenly come to me what the name of it is. I can open this window now, I didn't open that earlier. Obviously, as I said earlier, not much electric sound because we're at the front for now, but we will be coming back the other way in the loco at the other end instead of the cab car, so I can show you around that a little bit. It's an interesting to drive. It's not actually got a throttle, so to speak. It's almost like, I mentioned AFB earlier, which is like the cruise control. You can drive it with a throttle, presumably if the cruise control breaks, but the throttle is actually just like a cruise control. It's strange. It's difficult to explain. I'll show you. There's not actually a throttle you move as such, whereas with AFB you can move the throttle and then set the AFB for the speed, whereas that one's just so. It's more like I think it's called a speed selector actually. It's a very strange thing. And we're on time again, that's good. Right, I think we'll probably shut the doors fractionally earlier. Yeah, we're a little bit late there, you can see, a couple of seconds, but what's that between friends? Right, lock the doors. Wait for the brakes to come off. And I didn't turn the throttle off though, that's not good. I think I had it on minimum instead of off, so let's make sure we don't do that again. 1.6 at Dresden Neustadt is how I'm going to pronounce that. Please, anybody who may or may not have experience in German language, correct me on any of these pronunciations. I'm also going to stop my chair from tilting back. I'm aware I keep getting further and further from the camera. Excuse me. Red signal up ahead. I'm impressed by how well there's modern electric traction. Really, I suppose that's what you get. But I am impressed with how well these trains do accelerate. The train there, I imagine that red signal's because he's probably gone in front of us. Yeah, it's now gone yellow. That's fine. Get a little bit of beanie back on, but not too much. This might actually be the most difficult bit of driving I've done in a while. I'm not used to. I mean, on the London, on the Bakerloo line, obviously you're doing quite a bit, but not driving trains as heavy as this and as powerful as this in such a short distance. Certainly interesting. I mean, we've already failed twice. They seem to be coming in a bit slow again. Probably because I'm used thinking 30 miles an hour is obviously... yeah, I'm probably thinking in miles an hour rather than kilometres an hour. So we can afford to come in a bit higher on the numbers. That guy's trying to trespass. You see that into his suitcase there, all over the place. Couple of seconds late, that's fine. Let's get the brakes down to something sensible. Yeah, I hope it clears up. I'm not a fan of this fog, I must admit. It doesn't really allow you to see what's going on that well. One thing I do like about the German platforms is how they're very ground level, but they sort of meet up very well. And I think on the ICE, the high speed one, the steps actually fold down onto the platform, or a ramp actually folds down onto the platform, which is pretty cool. Get the brakes off, doors shut. Yeah, you see there, the doors nearly shut before it told us to lock them, so we were in danger of having to open them again for a split second there. That's lovely, that. Another train. There's a lot of 143s about. Mind you, I think I read on Wikipedia the other day they were one of the most successful German electric locos produced, so there's that, I suppose. They are nice to drive, they're just odd, as I'll show you later. Right, let's see if we can come into the next station at a bit higher speed so we're not just piddling along for quite as long. I want to see if we can make this stop a little bit better, but obviously not slam the brakes on. He says as he slams the brakes on. We are going down now. Now we're going a lot uphill, which will help. He's a bit close to end at platform. Yeah, 3 metres away. Oh, sorry, 4 metres away. That was a bit of a better stop. The doors are still on the platform. Yeah, that was a lot better stop, that. Chap here. I say, I don't drive, well, I don't drive from the control cab end. I didn't lock the doors. Oh, 2 trains. I didn't lock the doors then when it got halfway up that, well, 3/4 of the way up that bar there, so you're going to lose a few seconds. So let's punch it and get moving. If you are looking for a bit more of an interesting drive, I do recommend the scenarios over the timetable. The timetable is obviously just very simple. You drive from one place to another doing stops, but the scenarios, you know, do allow you to do a bit of changing ends as we are going to be doing here. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stops time. And then presumably we're going to come back on the track just to the left of us here and come back the exact same way we've come. You saw on the map at the start that we were doing a bit of a loop because of supposed congestion, which is, well, I suppose we've had a few red signals and there's a lot of traffic about. I suppose that's not entirely, well, it's not false. I don't really want to try and push us to 120, so I think we'll power off there and get a little bit of braking on. What's happening with the brakes on there? I had the brakes on them and we just like, I had them on for a while and then they suddenly just slammed on. That was very strange. More braking, more braking, more braking. We're not going to stop here. It says as we now might stop too early. Yeah, we're now going to stop too early. Yeah, the brakes on the German locos are interesting. The Vectron is even worse. Well, the Flix train or the Railpool Vectron actually, because you put the brakes on and then it takes them about 5 seconds before they actually start applying, which, well, you need to brake almost, well, you need to brake 5 seconds before you even think that you need to start braking, which is a pain. Especially when you're speeding and the safety systems only give you a limited time to start braking, and then because you didn't get down quick enough, they penalise you and then you come to a stop, which is moderately frustrating. But, yeah. And I didn't shut the doors again in time, although we are going to be off before 13:15, which is good. Well, I don't know, 8, 13, 15 seconds. I don't know why they bother including the seconds, it's a bit precise, but whatever. Right, off again. Probably can get up to 120 in this time. Let's just get a bit more beans. Just watch that yeah, force meter there starts waving about a bit when we start wheel slipping, so I'll bring it back a bit. Red signal after this station. So yeah, the last stop was better. We came in fast, but slightly too fast, and probably could have done with a bit more braking a little bit sooner. But yeah, it was a little bit of a better stop, I think. So I'm going to call it there this time. We are going uphill, so let the throttle to off. Obviously it takes time for the brakes to apply along the length of the train. You can see there they just suddenly slam on for some reason. Yeah, German brakes are very good though. Oh, Talent 2 over there. We are going to be a couple of seconds late on this one. I mean, it's very precise timings, but yeah, I don't think they actually thought to include the door operation. Oh, another Talent 2. Two Talent 2s. Watch there be a third one on the back now. Yeah, they don't seem to have included actually considering how long it takes to open and shut the doors, which is why you have to open and shut them early. Whether that's a thing you'd have to do in real life, I'm not sure, but too much brakes. I was too busy looking at the double Talent 2. And now we're going to be incredibly late, well, in comparison to where we have been. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, too much brake, got distracted. Probably not the best route to do this for viewing engagement and me having a chance to speak, but it was requested for, so I am more than happy to do it. Right, pay attention to the door thing, so let's not cut it a bit fine last time, didn't we? So I'm going to say there. Get the brakes off and get some power on. About 60 seems to be enough to stop us wheel slipping, so we'll try that. When you get round to that 40-50 mark there, it starts going a little bit mad. Red signal, so we've now got just under 4.5 minutes to do 1.8k, which should be entirely doable depending on how long this red signal keeps us waiting for. I'm impressed with how quickly we do accelerate though. Oh my god, we're not going to stop. Stop! Yeah, I'm going too fast as usual, and now we're going too slow. Can you tell I've not mastered driving this? No, don't stop, don't stop, don't. Oh, fine. Okay, we might as well just wait in. Get the brakes on. I imagine there is something ahead of us. Possibly that. Well, obviously that, otherwise we'd crash into it. He should be going soon, because that's a green. Unless he's waiting for him to get out of the way. Where's he going? He's going back the way we came, I presume. Hopefully we can make up a bit of time here. I'm going to say that they two trains together, but no. Well, yes they are. I was going to say they're not together, they're stopped behind them, but no. I had the throttle on minimum again, need to remember to turn it off. There we go, we can go now. I've noticed on the brakes as well, it takes a while from you powering off and getting the brakes on, so powering off sooner I think could help get the brakes on sooner as well. It seems to wait until all the power's come off, which is fair enough, I suppose. I suppose you don't want to be braking when your traction motors are still going, but yeah. Should be a bit easier to drive at the loco end of things. I'm not a fan of the cab car, I will admit. Right, so if we get that to off and get some braking on, see the kilonewtons goes to 0 and then it goes woof, lots of brake. It's the train that is pulling into the other side platform. A bit less braking. Even brake 1A is a really effective brake. You can see how we're slowing down pretty well here. We're getting overtaken by, that's a 185, that one. The 185 is the freight version, the 146 is the passenger version. You know it's the freight version because it says Rail Ion, or Rail Ion Logistics, I think it says on the side of it, and that's the freight version. So they layer from main Spessart Barney's where I have them from. There's probably a lot of other routes that do layer in from as well. I don't know if they come with this route actually, I know they layer onto the route because this is Dresden. But not a bad stop. We're going to be 6 or 7 metres away from where we should have been, but that was a lot more timely, and we are actually on time. And I've just noticed some... Oh, shunting station. Oh, I didn't know it could do that. And that's what I was looking for there, the workers. And they've actually animated them as well, which is nice. I think because you can shunt using these controls here, yeah, you can. And obviously you'd be looking out the window. I've not actually managed to get them to work yet. I've messed about with them in the middle of the run and then broke everything, as you might have expected, but I've not actually tried that yet. Right, we're going because we always seem to be late, so I'm going early. Buying us some time, granted only about, excuse me, 15 seconds, but can we have some power please? No? And so basically we're now going to be buying us no time at all because we've not got moving. Oh, there we go. Probably have the throttle on minimum again instead of off, because you turn it down and you leave it to minimum to let the kilonewton drop, and then you forget to turn it off. So I'll remember to do that. Odd sounding horns, the German locos as well, especially the ICE3 or ICE. I don't know if they call it ICE or ICE. I hope the volume, obviously we're driving an electric loco, so the volume might be quieter compared to the louder diesel and steam locos we've been driving. So if the, I'm just going to try turning the Xbox volume up slightly. If it gets too loud, let me know. I'm going to have to unlock the volume first actually, because I locked it. Oh, there's another thing there. I unlocked it so I didn't accidentally knock it because I had it perfect, but if it's now too loud... Oh, and another train there. It's another freight train. If the Xbox volume is now too loud over my voice, do let me know. I've just turned it up because obviously electric loco is going to be a lot quieter than a steam or a roaring diesel. Well, we drove diesel and steam last week. Will it have been Sunday? No, it'll have been Saturday last week. This stop's looking good. Get some braking on. I generally try to avoid going over brake 3. Obviously sometimes it's necessary, as it may be here. But we seem to be doing just about alright actually. Yeah, we're going to be a little bit over, but honestly I don't know. Sometimes I do question train sim world in that sometimes it has you stopping halfway down a platform, sometimes it has you stopping near the end, and I know it depends on the length of the train, but surely there'd be like a fixed. Sometimes you get a H, There's like a black H on a whiteboard, and that tells you where to stop, but then Train Sim World doesn't always tell you to stop there, which is a bit strange. But anyway, we've did I turn the throttle off again? No, I didn't. I had it on minimum again. Got to make sure we turn that off before we get going. Do that from inside just for a change. That was quite loud on the Xbox volume when I turned the horn up then. So, well, when I turn the horn up, when I blew the horn, so I'm just going to drop it down slightly. Just let me know if it gets too loud and I can change it, but we should be alright, I think. I don't know, I didn't do this before actually. Well, I hadn't really had much time, but this is the Loco. It's a bit shoeboxy shaped, very boxy and long. But yeah, this is the Loco we'll be driving on the way back. Let's try not to get too distracted with camera angles, but these are all the different ones you can have. Let's not get too distracted, we don't want to blow through the station. Right, so remember, throttle is on minimum, and now I'll turn it off. A bit of uphill to help us slow down as well, that's always welcome. It's a good job we set off early actually, we're going to be pushing it a little bit here. Another Loco, yeah, this is what I mean about the scenarios, there's a lot more activity. I mean, obviously this is a congestion based scenario, things are having to divert and it's very busy, but yeah, I'm quite enjoying this actually. It's not easy, as you can tell. I keep cocking up the brakes and the stops, and we're going to be late again. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting challenge this, and we're not going to stop. Yeah, we're a mile off. Too busy talking again. Wow, we got to brake 7 then. That's not good. It's good practice really this. I'm used to obviously having a little bit longer between station stops, but yeah, right, get the doors locked. That was pretty much perfect there. Brakes off. Throttle was actually on minimum this time, which is a bonus. I don't know why the electric brake got stuck on. Have I accidentally pressed X? Yeah. X just changes between train brake, electric. Is this regenerative actually? Yeah, I think it is because that meter comes up when you regen braking. You can switch between train brake, electric brake, and then the direct brake just on the Loco by pressing X, and that's how you do the different horn tones on the Xbox as well. You just hold X, and that's also how you do the different PZB stuff when you hold X and do left, right, or up on the D-pad. Right, let's punch it because we are going to be behind yet again. Right, let's see if we can not completely cock this up this time. So 5 miles is 8 kilometres, or 1 mile is 1.6 kilometres, so we got up to about 50 there, which, you know, you see 80, 500 metres when you think, Christ, it's a bit fast, but it's not actually too bad. And as you can see, I generally seem to be on the hesitative side. I mean, granted, I nearly blew through the last one, we didn't quite stop, but didn't quite stop where we should have done. but it's difficult to gauge when you go between, you know, do miles and yards and kilometres and metres, and you go on the US routes and everything's measured in feet, and it's like 8,000 feet to the next signal, which is frankly odd. But I know you can change them, but I just have it on automatic, because otherwise you end up having to get to like 37 miles an hour is the speed limit, or, you know, odd things like that. Now this station stop is looking a lot better. There we go. 3 metres, that's not bad. And we're on time, which is an even better bonus. Just frighten the elderly people getting on the train. Probably going to get sacked for doing that. I've just realised I'm not in the centre of shot again, so I should sit up, and I forgot to do the lock the doors on that little meter on the top left again. Never mind. We made up some time last time. I think we can do it now. Sun's not really trying to peek through. The clouds are parting a little bit. It'd be nice if we got some blue sky towards the end of this. Now, I believe Coswig, or oh, goodness knows how else you pronounce that, is where we turn around. Yeah, there we go. That's what it says on the front of the train, after all. Coswig. So yeah, this is where we turn around, and we are driving from the loco end on the way home. So, should be interesting, and you should be able to hear a bit more as well, rather than just the sound of wind and steel on steel. And the 60 limit coming up. Which we actually seem to have made there quite well. Lovely. Right, onto the other track, presumably, because then it'll have us driving backwards out of this station area. So switch onto the other track so we can just go boom, straight backwards out. I presume that's what that slip's there for. A bit more braking on because there's that red signal at the end of the platform. So this is Coswig, which is actually towards the bottom end of the line. More braking, quite a bit more braking actually. That's the yellow, and the red is just there. And we are going to be way off the stop marker again. Still within the platform, I suppose that's not too bad. Right, unlock the doors. Now what's it going to ask us to do? Train brake to full service. Right, okay, we'll do that. And presumably it's also going to do the thing Train Sim World is when it chucks you into a timetable mode, you have about 3 seconds to switch everything on in the cab that you need to, and then run to the other end. It's like the Bakerloo line. It doesn't give you any chance to run to the other end and get the tail lights on and the destination indicator and the destination board, or set the cab up on this end, you know, open the windows. Yeah, I wish they gave you more time at the start to set the train up or shut the train down. Oh, wrong way, as we are doing here. But yeah, I think they have started programming it into newer routes because they realise it's, you know, to simulate you need time to set things up. Right, I don't think there's anything else we've left on in here. Suppose we're going to want the tail lights on. Right, let's get to the other end and see how much time we've lost from doing that. Yeah, so we were about 8 metres off where we needed to be. Definitely need some practice driving the cab car, but we'll see how we get on at this end. And let's not break my shins on the bench as I crash into it. Slaloming through a load of people. Ah, so the automated signs have changed by itself. That's nice. Right, here we are. And this is the loco, much like Just Train's recent 87, in that you can actually, you can't go in that way, you can go in the other way, you can actually chain cab ends by going through here. And this is where all the PZB stuff is, and lights and pantographs, but we're not messing about with that because it's already screwed me over enough today anyway. You do have to crouch to get in there, I think, as well. So, it's going to want us to put the reverser handle in, which is in the side. Forwards, it's going to want the headlights on. Brake key, which is there, on. Now it wants us to lock the doors, get the brakes off. I'll just check through all the switches. I've not memorised these yet. The report has come in that ongoing bridge work near Dresden has resulted in traffic being congested. Ensure you're keeping a careful watch on the upcoming signal changes on your approach to Dresden. Okay, right, desk lights, instrument lights, pantograph, that's all set. Traction motor fan, you don't have to worry about that. Train lights, yes, we would like them on. Right, so brakes off, and this is the weird thing. So what you want to do is actually reduce the force selector. This is sort of like your throttle. And then your speed selector is actually what selects your speed. So that's not a throttle, it just selects speed. And then this force selector, as you see, if I reduce it down there, you can see the kilonewtons decreases. That selects how much throttle is applied, reaching that speed or the max throttle. And then I think the auxiliary control is sort of used as a backup. So if I start messing with this, you can see, I think this might be the number of taps on that, the 17, or the number of power levels, something like that. I presume this auxiliary control is used if this hand lever breaks, so you still have some control over it. But obviously if you then wiggle this again, you can see the blue line on the speedometer comes back up. So I'm not sure if this actually is technically a tap changer loco. I mean, you've got sort of a number here that goes up to, I think, 31. But I'm not actually quite sure the mechanism of what those numbers mean. In some locos, German locos, I've seen that can indicate the number of taps, but I'm not too sure. Let's wave at him. Obviously you can then reduce your speed like this and it will drop the kilonewtons and apply the brakes, but then you've also got the brake handle here. I presume what you're supposed to do is drop this to off and then use the brakes to slow down. Because you can see there I turned it off or decreased it, but it's taking ages to apply the brakes. So if I turn that off and then use the brakes, because I did read that you're not really supposed to use the AFB cruise control system for slowing down. I'm not sure how true that is, but yeah, because obviously if you're then here, if you turn that to off, if you don't turn it to off quick enough, it's just going to start jamming the brakes on, and maybe you don't want to jam the brakes on. So yeah, it's a bit of an odd loco to drive. I'm sure somebody will have to tell me how you're supposed to do it. With a weird horn, I'm sure somebody will supposed to tell me how you're supposed to do it, but you know, you can just like generally decrease this in steps, but it takes that long. I'll just ram it to off and use the brakes here. Which are thankfully quite effective as being a short train. We're going to be miles off again. Well done. Stop. Yeah, the stops are not going overly well today, are they? Let's reduce that a little bit. We're on time though, so we didn't really need to rush that. In fact, we're very early, so we really didn't need to rush that. Yeah, we're not getting many points on here, are we? Although actually, 730, yeah, they're out of 500 and 750, so we're not actually doing too badly. As long as we get a gold medal, I'm not overly bothered, but just for my own satisfaction, I would like to have stopped, excuse me, a little bit nicer than we are doing. So I think I'm going to apply that theory, ram the speed selector to off, and then just use these brakes rather than waiting for this to decrease the power and apply the brakes itself. If you have the force selector on too high, then that just means it'll start wheel slipping. You know, you put it to reach 120 and it'll just wheel spin. As you can see, it did do there slightly. But perhaps we might even want it on less than 80. We'll try 70, there or thereabouts. Nah, we'll go for exactly 70, there we go. So now I need to be careful we don't blast through the next station, because we haven't got the marker because we are setting off early, but it does allow me to be a little bit more careful with the brakes. So the next station is just there, so I'm going to turn this off and then gently coast in. You see there, because we turned it all the way off because we're braking, because we did it on the screen with A and the joystick rather than with the bumper controls. It actually turned off before the brakes started ramming on. So if I now select this too, oh no, you can see there it's going to start ramming the brakes on, which we don't really want it to do. And we could have done with coming in a little bit faster here as well, which we didn't, but why we set off a little bit earlier. So we'll set this to 30 kilometers an hour, just drifting. And as you can see, the taps are taking a little bit of time to climb up there. You see we're at number 5, 6, 7. So yeah, we've that's not been the greatest stop. That it's a very odd train to drive. As you may be able to tell, I'm not exactly doing the best job of it. Still going to be reasonably on time. Right, I'm going to jam this to off. Let the taps come down and get the brakes. So that's probably what you are supposed to. You're probably supposed to turn that off. Wait for the power meter there to go to. Well, wait for the power meter there to be return to 0. Allow it to get to 0 and then apply. I've just realised I had that on off there, which is not the same as release by the sounds of it. So if I apply that and then turn it to off, so it's sort of like a lapped brake kind of thing. That's quite cool. And we're approaching this once again far too slowly, but never mind. Not the professional job I usually like to provide. So I think this is almost like a lapped brake. So if I turn this here, the brakes are going to come off. But then if I set that to off, it almost seems to hold it. So if I apply that to 0.8ish and then turn it to off, that seems to hold it at 0.8. But if then I set that to 1, I don't know actually. So 2 is 1.2, 1 is about 0.8. So if I set that there, I don't know what the difference between off and running is actually. Anyway, let's get going. Because release, you hold it in release to overcharge the brake system in case you've got brakes that are stuck on. You're not actually supposed to go into release because that overcharges the system. You're supposed to leave it in running, and that's the same with British locos as well. But I'm not actually sure what the function off actually provides, so I'll just make sure I put it into running and I want the brakes to come on. Pete says I'm doing alright, George. Thank you, Pete. Hopefully you can hear the electric loco a little bit more. If it's too quiet, let me know. If my voice is too loud, let me know. The levels on OBS look alright, but obviously that's difficult to translate into real life. So if you'd like to hear a bit more of the loco noise, let me know. I can turn it up. But thank you for your comment, Pete. I'm glad somebody has faith in me because I don't. Pete says it's fine. Good. Thank you very much indeed. Right, I'm not going to push us to 120. I'm going to leave us at 90. And then that way the taps will have time to come off when I turn this to off and get some brakes on. You can see that actually doing it on the controller did manage to turn that off before the brakes started being applied because we were under the speed that it was set at. Sorry, above the speed that it was set at, so yeah, maybe you can actually afford to do that on the controller rather than not turned it to running again, have I? Maybe you can get away with turning it all the way off on the controller. It did just make me wonder then, is this so you can release, so you don't have to move the handle as far? You can set it to like braking 3, move it to off to hold it on braking 3, and then you've only got to push it sort of that much to release them, rather than going from all the way around here at brake 3 to release brakes round here. Whether you can put it to brake 3 round here, set it to off, which keeps it at brake 3. We're stopping. Let's not stop. Whether you can set it to sort of brake 3, go to off, and then the distance between braking and releasing is a lot shorter, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure if that's why it's designed like that or not. Because obviously off is there, running is there. So, and sort of brake 3 is sort of round here-ish. So whether that is to reduce so you can get the brake off quicker, that you don't have to push the handle as far, I'm not sure. Yeah, so you see we managed to turn that off there before it started jamming the brakes on. So we've lost us time that we've made up as well, which is a bit of a shame, but and we're stopping again. Why are the brakes on? Oh, I know why. So I overcharged it, didn't I, demonstrating that you shouldn't overcharge it, and then well, the brakes were stuck on slightly. That was a decent stop. 1 metre, in fact probably 0 metres actually. Shame we crawled in a bit too slow though. So that's a little bit frustrating, but we're in one piece at the moment. Right, let's get the doors locking, considering we do have to now work to schedule. Get the brakes off, power on. Probably maybe get to 100, I'll just stick it there and see what happens. Yeah, brakes are definitely off, that's good. Did open that window for, yes, I did open the window for sound. I've not really had much chance to turn the hood off, but I'm frightened to death that if I turn the hood off I'll miss a signal or a speed limit or a station, so... Yeah, and a bit disappointing that this fog hasn't cleared up either. How many stations have we got to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to take us just after 10 past 9. Nice. Going to drop us back to 90 actually, I don't think we're going to get that far. Try 80. Right, so I'm now going to try turning the speed off and just letting us coast for a bit longer instead of jamming the brakes on straight away. In fact, the brakes seem to be suggesting that we are already braking slightly because we've got 0.9 in the cylinder. Maybe you do have to hold these on release for this loco, I'm not sure. Can you tell I don't drive this very often? I drive all the other locos very often, I just don't drive the Vectron and this loco very much. But I do like it. It's a nice change, but it's not something I've had a chance to get to grips with as much as I have with the others. This stop looks like it's going to be better. Granted we are late, but that doesn't really matter. Wave to the cab car driver over there. There doesn't seem to be any... Well, the brakes on this, you see there, they either seem to be on or off. And we're slowing down a lot again. Maybe I should just try controlling the speed with this thing, I don't know. I've watched a couple of tutorials on it, but none of them have actually been overly useful, if I'm going to be honest. Nobody really explained this speed selector and control and how the brakes interface with the speed selector. It was all a bit rushed, the ones that I watched. There was a CIFA pedal there, look. Oh, and it also moves that button as well. Yeah, max speed of this loco is 120, this isn't going any higher. I did say at the start of the stream, if we'd have time to do any freight workings, I might do some freight workings, but by the time we do another 7 stops, it's going to be roughly getting to about an hour and a half stream time, which is usually where I aim for. So I think we will get back to where we started, and we'll end the stream there rather than carrying on, because obviously it is getting a little bit late, and I'm going to have some Saturday evening to myself downstairs watching, well, reruns of Bullseye, probably, for those of you that remember that. Right, I'm going to forget about the brakes now and see if I can brake just using this. Obviously I may intervene if I decide that we're not going to stop quick enough, but yeah, that's taking forever, never mind, I'm going to use the brakes. At least they come on instantly. Oh, talent 2 there, forgot to wave, never mind. Less brakes. This actually might be an alright stop, this. To keep an eye on that distance. You see, this one doesn't have you stopping right at the end of the platform, which is just a little bit strange. Oh, that's a quick one. Talent 2. Okay, that's the best stop yet. That was beautiful, that. Came in at a nice speed. Not much... Ooh, we're now stuck in the shelter. That was the best stop yet, that. We came in at a nice speed. We're well on time. Stopping accuracy was within a metre. Yeah, that was a good stop, that. I'm pleased. I'm very pleased with that, actually. I'm maybe starting to get the hang of it now. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate that. Get the brakes off. Get some power on. Yeah, that was a good stop. I'm very happy with that. Very strange horn, that. Not as, well, I don't know if that's wrong, but it's not as bad as the... Oh, speaking of the Talent 2 horn, there's one there. Talent 2 horn sounds shocking. Now, where is the next station? It is there. So we shall not get above 60, because we can stop reasonably quickly from there despite the fog. Even if we don't get much wave at the driver, even if we don't get much chance to see ahead to the station, we can stop from that speed nicely. We've got loads of time anyway, so I'm sure the passengers aren't going to be happy, given that they had like another 2 minutes to reach their train before it set off, but I'm not bothered. Should be coming around the corner to it now, yes we are. And yeah, we're coming up to it there, so let's get some brakes on. This isn't going to be as good as a stop. That was rushed. Although to be fair, 5 metres isn't so bad, but we had to get the brakes on quite harshly. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Came in a bit slower than the last one, but ended up not quite stopping in time. I've just realised as well, do you actually have to turn this off? Because I left it at 60 there, and it detected we'd put the brakes on, and then started applying the brakes. So does this actually have to be... Does that actually have to be off when you apply braking? I'm not sure. Whether because now we've applied braking with this on, whether we have to reset it and put it back up again, I'm not sure. It's definitely something to have an investigate with that. Have a bit of a play around with it in the training centre maybe. The training centre or the introduction thing for this loco wasn't overly useful, if I'm honest. Right, brakes off, doors locked. Yeah, it probably wouldn't let you because you had this on, it'd think you were trying to accelerate. Ooh, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, because you had the little red interlock box around the throttle number. Or in this case, the tap number, I think. But, yeah. What train is it again? It's the BR143. I think it's got another set of numbers. Because I think some of them got upgraded to go faster than 120 kilometers an hour. I think on the Frankfurt-Fulda route, I think it might be under a different name. I think if you search YouTube for BR143, it'll come up under the other set of designated numbers as well, I believe. Yeah, BR143. It's an odd thing. It's not my favourite, but it's well, it's interesting enough to drive for the screen. Right, we're heading back towards names beginning with Dresden, so we haven't actually got that many stops left to do at present. Right, let's slow down for this 70. Well, we've got a red signal, so we best stop in time here. Otherwise we'll be in deep stum. Ah, the liabilities arrived. Jaden, thank you for joining. Nice to see you. Hope you are having a good Friday evening. Nice to see you, because you said you wouldn't be able to join, but welcome indeed. We are driving a train, would you believe, albeit badly. It's not been the most refined journey, I'll tell you that as much, but we're not actually doing too badly at the moment. I think this is going to be a decent stop as well, actually. Two metres. I'll take that. That was another good stop. I am pleased with that, and we didn't blow through the signal either. Oh, look at that. Little bit of banking going on there. I think screenshot opportunity is in order, which I'll do on the Xbox One because it's so much easier than doing it via TrainSim World and having to go into, well, having to line up, take it, and then go into the Dovetail Live page on TrainSim World and then saying upload. Yeah. Lovely. Take a few screenshots. Yes, we are in Deutschland. We are in Germany. Now let's lock the doors, get the brakes off, and hopefully the signal we can just creep for. Oh, look at that! Train going over the bridge there. Little Talent 2 again. Oh my god. That's why you don't leave the speed selector on. Stop! Oh, and another train there. I forgot to wave to the driver, never mind. Right, that's why you don't leave the speed selector on, because if you leave the speed selector on, as soon as you take the brakes off, it'll start accelerating. We don't want to go either, that signal's still red. All I wanted to do then was just release the brakes, allow us the gradient to roll up to the signal with hopefully enough time so it cleared. Yeah, that's what I wanted to happen, but obviously... So, to answer my question, if you leave this on and start braking, as soon as you take the brakes off, it will take off. So, that is probably why it is best to leave it set to 0 when you're not wanting to move. Alright, that's enough. Well, I don't even know what that says in... Let's actually... you see, there is this thing called Google Lens, and I can translate that without having to type it out. Google Lens, translate any text, detect language, point it at Jaden's waffle. I was not in the mood to join in, but I could. I thought I was not in the mood to join in, but I could is what that came out as. So, I'm good, thanks Jaden. Hopefully you're doing well as well. Do we request permission? No, it's just asking us to wait. Good to see you are doing well, Jaden, by the way. I think I might have already said that, but if not, I've said it again. What are we waiting for here? We're waiting for this muppet to move out of the way. And he's got the green. This might be where the congestion starts. Oh no, he's moving. Ah, the 9:02:30 will be our time. I thought it was his time when he was leaving, but no, that'll be when we're due to leave. What actually goes up here? Can you go up there? No, it's just a dead end. Got some freight sidings around there with the look of it. It might be passing us shortly. We actually can't see the signal at the moment, which is not great. Oh, I hear a train. Yeah, there's one over there. And we've got yellow now, so we can go. Not at any great speed, but we can go at least. I haven't actually told you this in a while, have I? But you remember when we used to look at the dropped frames when we did the streams in the loft? They've only dropped 82 at the moment, which is not bad. 82 out of probably several 100,000 at the moment. I'm sure somebody can do the maths based on 30 FPS at an hour 23. Yeah, 82, that's not a right lot, and we've been holding steady at above 10,000 kilobits per second as well. Now I've said that, the internet will die and the stream will end with me swearing and cursing at Sky Internet again. Right, so if I turn the speed selector off so we're not tempted to shoot through a signal like we nearly did just back there. Now that stop was a little bit far off the train sim world marker, but again I don't know why it doesn't ask us to just pull up to the end. I mean, is that what this means, or does that mean not trespassing German? I don't know. As I say, it's strange sometimes. And we're late again. How can we be so... Mind you, we were stopped at that red, but how can we be so early and then immediately so late? Is he waiting for us, that train up there? I've just had Anne text message, so give me a chance to read it. Is that buffer stop actually? No, that's the train we passed on the way in. We passed that on the way in, but on the other side, so that's just obviously in storage, I presume. Oh, and we're over to train racing. We've overtaken the freight train. Look, oh, and that one's just past us. There's all sorts going on. So yeah, we've just overtaken the puny little freight train. Well, he's hardly puny, he's probably got twice the horsepower that this has, but never mind, we've beaten him. Get the speed selector off, and we're probably going to need more braking than one would be inclined to apply here. We're going downhill. Let's try and make this a good stop. It's going to have to be a good stop, we've got a red signal. Well, if we overrun by 100 metres with me driving, you're never quite sure. "50 kilometres an hour seems acceptable, given that there's a red. Oh, I can hear another train. The freight train's overtaken us now. We're probably not going to catch up with him. Shouldn't have gloated quite so early. Yeah, he's absolutely breezing past us now. He's probably laughing maniacally in his cab like I was in ours. And we've probably overrun this one slightly again. 6 metres is not so bad actually. Pretty acceptable. Well, that's probably the distance from there to there, so this one did actually want us to pull to the end of the platform. Yeah, next time I do a German route, I'll make sure I'm not driving this thing. Right, I don't think we've got many stops. No, we've got 2 left. Charming. It didn't work. I'm trying to do that well-known horn tune, but it won't let me do it. It's not responsive enough. Try again. Yeah, you have to do it a bit slower than you would do on anything else. You can do it pretty good on the HST. I can speak for the Great Western Express HST. I don't know about the Midland Main Line one. Yeah, you can do that quite well on the Great Western Express HST, which is supposedly being remastered, and I think we're going to get first Great Western liveried stuff with it as well, albeit not with the Great Western or first branding. I don't think we're allowed to use it. Oops, we best actually stop here, that might be an idea. And we're going to be way over again. Yep, that was a bad one. That was shocking. I don't even think we got the first door. No, we didn't get the first door. That was terrible. I was about to say, let's make it a good stop, because it's the second to last one, and then it was absolutely hideous. At least we're on time, though. Hence why I'm now going to leave early, to ensure the last stop is a good stop. Right, let's give it the beans. Sounds like a toy, the horn. Yeah, it does actually. Oh, you've got the audio looping effect as well. I don't like that. It's got that on the Talent 2 as well, and that sounds rubbish as well. Oh, speaking of, oh no, it's cab car, wave. On the off chance he was going to let us in. No, he isn't. There's another train down there. Oh, and it's got yellow now. That's good. Right, penultimate, not the penultimate stop, that was the last one, the ultimate stop. That sounds slightly less professional than penultimate, but the last stop on our journey today, and thus marking the end of the stream, so let's try and make it a decent stop. Like the one there, Pete thanked, well not thanked me for, but congratulated me on. Let's see if we can't do an half decent one here. Try not to crawl in at Miss Daisy speeds either. You're not really supposed to feather it like this, as I understand, but... And we're not going to stop perfectly. Going too fast. Yeah, 8 metres, that'll do. Right, let's unlock the doors. That was not a great stop, but about 8 metres off. Makes me wonder, well, that's the H I was on about. I've seen it as a black H on a whiteboard before, but... Well, that marks the, well, we started off from here and we have finished up here, so I shall wait for it to ask me to lock the doors. We did arrive early though at the end of everything, so we've not, despite the hideous stopping accuracy, we've not done too badly to actually arrive on time. I mean, we did have to restart it twice because of the safety systems, and I am very glad we didn't have to deal with those. I think that would have been a bit too much of a pain. And now it's going to make us wait while half 11. Half 11? What am I on about? Half 9. It's probably going to let us... Oh, there's a car horn that beeps then. That was good. It's probably going to make us wait. Does it want us? When does it let us turn the brake key on? Oh, let me guess, it's full service, not emergency. No. Off. Okay. Oh. Maybe train brake off is literally just the position so that you can take the key, turn the key off, and check it out. I'm not sure. Anyway, well, we seem to have somehow inexplicably... Oh, that's cool. You can switch between the two locos there for ones you've driven. So inexplicably, despite our hideous stopping accuracy, as you can see there, that's 14 metres, 10 metres, 5 metres, 23.8 metres. It's not great. But we managed to get a gold medal and 30,000 points, probably thanks to all the stops. I'm nearing on level 100. Yeah, I don't think we did too badly there. So, oh, it's not going to let me go to free roam. Fine, let me pick a route to do the outro in. I'm assuming that you're not hauling the double deckers. We are. Yes, we were. We were indeed. Right, now I'm going to have to go to free roam and find a nice train to stand in front of. Let's go here. Yeah, that'll do. Let's make it slightly nicer. Should be nice hot weather. There we go. Just for the outro. Don't want to do it in the home screen. That's a bit boring. But yeah, it was the double deckers. It was. Watch there be... Oh, I can hear a pneumatic drill. Watch there be no trains here. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Now, is there a train in the sidings we can find? Ah, no, we'll just fast travel until we find one. Oops. So this is pressing LB and Y, or the equivalent of that on PlayStation. There must be a train down here. Yeah, it won't let you return to free roam because it's a scenario. Is there a train? There are trains. There we go. Route hopping. Where to? trying to think of other German. I have main Spessartbahn and the Schnellfahrstrecke Köln. But yeah. Anyway, this I've just realised how impressive this looks. Actually, this station. It's quite grand looking. It's on the moon up there. Looks like somebody's cut the toenails. Yeah, that's quite. Oh, I'm in the middle of the tracks. That's probably not the best place to be. Yeah, it's quite grand actually. I mean, it can actually load it properly now on the decent Xbox. But anyway, so that was our stream for this evening, folks. Thank you very much indeed for joining. Oh, there's a train pulling in somewhere. Oh, it's up there. Freight train, nice. So yeah, that was the stream for this evening, folks. Thank you very much for joining and spending your time with me. I'll move my head out of the way so you can see them. Thank you very much for spending your Friday evening with me. Not too bad there, actually, despite the braking issues, shall we say, we didn't do too badly. Got a gold medal, which is the best you can do, so, you know, the game can't have thought we did that badly. And yeah, it was fun to do something a little bit different. Next week, I'm not sure what we'll be doing. Well, I should say next week. I'm pretty sure I can do one tomorrow. I'll have to see what I'm doing, but if I can do one tomorrow, I'll do one tomorrow. I'm going to try and do some reskins over this holiday. Jaden wants a Wartime Black Flying Scotsman, and BG Tips, who isn't with us tonight, wants he wants Caledonian doing in Mark II on a Mark II. Not Caledonian. He wants Caledonian Sleeper doing on a Mark II coach. So yeah, that is going to be it tonight. Thank you very much once again for joining and being with me in the chat tonight. On the main line, Jaden and Pete from Pete's Transport have been in tonight, but thank you, of course, if you were just watching along in the background. Right, thank you very much indeed. Please do enjoy. In Somerset, yes, Jaden, you're correct. That will be a Wartime Black Flying Scotsman on the West Somerset Railway. Jaden's asked for that, so I should probably make that reasonably soon. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please do enjoy the rest of your Saturday night, and I will keep you informed about... I can hear another train, but I can't see it. Never mind. I'll keep you informed about the stream, if there will be one tomorrow. If not, there'll be hopefully one next weekend. Thank you very much indeed for watching once again. Do take care, and I will see you at some other time. Bye for now.